Welcome, welcome, welcome to CLTFC Fan TV for the fans by the fans. Damn it. I'm JT, the newbie fan, the not in tune with all things soccer. And my colleague, my brother from a different mother, Cousin Lee. I always want to do it. Hold on, let me do it right. Right over there, Cousin Lee, holding it down in the studio. We were going to have a special guest tonight, our good friend of the show, Top Ben 90, Jorge Gonzalez, but unfortunately he could not make it. So you are so lucky. It's just Lee and JT and Lee talking about all things going on. I am tired. Right after this show, Lee, I'm going to bed because ever since the kit release last Thursday, it's been like day after day after day. But anyway, say hello to the people, Lee.
Hello to the people, Lee. So first off, JT, man, you would not realize how much I missed you last night. It was hard to talk to myself. Gail Moore's passed out, so they wasn't asking questions. Heidi was too big of a star, and she was calling player names out. It just went on and on and on, man. It was just, but we did the calling thing, so that works. So we could try that next time.
So, I was gonna say we had some technological advancements in our CLTFC fan TV media prowess.
Yeah,
it's just crazy how easy it was last night because, with my background in video production, I know what it takes to stream. And like 5 years ago, to do what we did last night live from Bank of America, and then having Tom Bogert coming in live from New York City. He's outside like in Midtown or something, and then you there at your house. But for me, just to hit that link, and hey man, kudos to you. You did great with muting it because that was one thing we really couldn't talk back and forth to each other. And so I'm like, I'm walking around trying to film stuff and everything. And I was like, who knows, what I could have picked up. But anyway, you did a great job. And I missed you too, Lee. That's very sweet of you.
That's it. We're going to have to reconnect offline for sure. So yeah, man, this show is about everything that's been happening. I guess the last week, right? What's today?
Yeah.
Wednesday? We'll just say it's a week. So first off was the kit, right? A lot of people, but I don't think we would ever be able to please everybody with whatever it was. And, I like it. What do you think, JT?
I like it a lot. I mean, it's interesting. I was talking to someone last night about the different colored blues. you know, because it could be a blue from, you know, this pennant behind me to the blue that's on this hat to the blue, but the blue that is the real deal Adidas official kit jersey, that is the blue, and I love that color, and I like the striping. I think I showed the video a little bit, and then the little touches with the CLTFC secondary logo on the back in silver, and then the two Carolinas down. I guess it's kind of down near where you would tuck it in or whatever. But I think the sharp, man, of course, and then the three lines always, and I like the white. So they're wearing those for 2 years. That's kind of cool. That, you know, it's like, all right, we lock in. So
Yeah, so my understanding is they do this for 2 years, and then what they'll do is, like, they'll alternate that secondary kit, or they call it the community kit, so each year there'll be a new kit, either the home or away kit. So
okay,
we'll
yeah.
keep
So
this.
hold on.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that. So what's the away kit now? That's our home kit.
We don't know yet. It's supposed to be dark. My guess, if anything, and if we're going off of what Fanatics has been kind of posting with some of the hoodies and that kind of stuff, it looks to be black and mint, but, you know, I would imagine it's gonna be black, right? The Panthers colors. We got the black here.
Yeah.
So
That's
black
cool.
and something. But yeah, like Heidi says, I think it's clean and classic too. You know, it's not too busy. So
Gosh, they're wearing, I don't know, just black, like playing on the pitch in Kansas City in August when it's humid and hotter than hell. Or I mean, I hear we talk about humidity around here, but like in the I don't know, mid South, whatever you call that area, Kansas City, Missouri, I hear it is hotter than hell. Actually, Jalen Lindsay was talking about that, and so wearing a black uniform, sucking up the sun on a hot. I don't care what kind of technology it is. Although that's a cool thing too. You know, the official kit, just, you know, it's the latest greatest technology. And it looks like it's little miniature honeycombs or whatever, you know, and it's super breathable. It's just a cool texture. I bet it feels good to wear.
yeah, it does, man. I haven't taken it off since Thursday. So yeah, but
It
yeah, I
sleeps
mean,
well.
so the cool thing about the MLS, or what my understanding is, as long as we don't clash with the team that we're playing away at, we can wear the blue still. So there's only
Okay.
gonna be a couple, right, that we would really clash with.
So
So
it's not like a lot of, I guess, you know, football and other stuff. You know, either you're wearing dark or you're white or whatever. It's
yeah,
all
and
about just long as it doesn't, you know, look similar.
yeah, and so, like, some of these comments, right, about the 3rd kit, yeah, I doubt we'll have a 3rd kit this season, but as, Michael is saying, it depends on the amount of sales, but I just don't think we'll get it the 1st year is my understanding, so
Really,
regardless,
you get a third kit if you sell a certain amount of
1st and
what?
2nd kits, yeah. It's all the money grab, right? 'Cause they know it would yeah,
Ah, now that's interesting because that's something, you know. Again, going to being a newer fan of the whole soccer world as it is today. I never thought about that. They're incentivizing us to have more season ticket holders or to become one, thus giving them more. And oh, then if you hit a certain threshold, you'll get the third kit. You know, it's almost like it's a prize. It's a prize for you know, doing whatever, and just the whole, like, you know, the whatever, just being so into the kits. Yeah, because I was at Dick's the other day and I saw something, because I know you're a big Tottenham fan, and I'm you know, follow them. But like, yeah, the Spurs they've got some kind of crazy. It's like black with like all these multicolored, like it was
yeah,
dipped in some oil paint thing. I'm like, what the hell is this?
yeah. I'm not a big fan of that one either, but yeah, so but yeah, the kits, what was interesting, though, is the authentic that I believe, and somebody correct me out there if I'm wrong, is that the authentic that was being sold in Dick's was incorrect, I believe. It had, like, a white collar, but that should be the non-authentic, the unauthentic. Is that the right word? Right?
Unauthentic,
What wa
not authentic. I don't think unauthentic. Yeah, it's definitely not unauthentic.
It wasn't the authentic shirt anyways, right?
Not authentic. We'll
Yeah,
just
right. Because that doesn't have the patches on it. It doesn't have the stripes on the collar. I think it's a little different.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
replica.
I
You
gotta
know,
say again, that collar is tight, dude. I really do like the
it's
stripes on
kinda
the
stuck
collar.
in me a little bit. I'm just messing. You were talking about tight as in cool looking. not tight.
Yeah, I just like it, man. It's just a real, it's real clean, like from a graphic design standpoint, kind of like the circle logo. It's just really clean, man. I don't know. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. It's going to pop around Charlotte, right? We're going to start
Oh
seeing
yeah.
people wearing them out more. It's just it's
Well,
a good.
that color too is the old blue Honda scooter that I have that I'm going to be rolling out. I have a newer one that I'm going to roll out too, but I'm going to bring out the vintage one from '81 every once in a while to tailgates and stuff, and have the cameras and talk to people. And that one is blue and white, and it's really close to that color blue. So it's gonna look awesome. My big old 6'3" butt riding some little like 50cc Honda scooter, cruising tailgates and everything before the game. It's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah, I'd be interested. Michael is posting the question in the chat. What does everyone want to see for the away kit? You know, I kind of the Fanatics hoodies and that kind of stuff. That pink and I mean not pink. Why am I saying pink? But the black and mint. I thought it looked pretty sharp. So it'd be curious to see. I wouldn't be, but I know it has to be a dark color. So yes, we have a fan TV scooter that JT is going to be riding around with a bunch of boxes on the back.
We actually have two. I have an older one, and then I have a newer one that is much more reliable. But yeah, I'm gonna be cruising tailgates because I mean that's one thing from the get go with this and doing this with Lee. I was like, I just want to have fun and the whole idea of being like a party and party atmosphere, and then bringing that college football, Carolina's tailgating feel to it. I can't wait. Yes, I'm gonna cruise. I'm gonna be cruising with some GoPros and having some fun on the scooter. So that'd be great.
Yeah, I think everybody's excited for 2022 there, Queen City Soccer Report. If you guys ain't following him, check him out, man. He's got a nice little YouTube thing going on as well. And while we're at it, go ahead and hit our sub button as well if you haven't already. And so, yeah, black or gray. I don't know if gray would work, right? I feel like it might clash. Maybe black and gray.
As long as they don't do. You were saying pink earlier, but Ally has that their main logo colors or brand colors, whatever, are purple and pink, I believe, and white. Just as long as they don't do something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Not full sponsor.
Let's talk about last night. So, while we were live and you were trying to get Patter on the show, it looked like he might have looked like y'all got into a little scrap because we lost the feed. He was throwing a hissy fit about not being on or something, and I don't know, man, what happened?
I know his brother was cool and great. John,
Yeah.
I can't really speak so much about John though. No, he was like, man, I don't want to. That was the weird thing about it. Again, if in the more traditional sense, if you were filming this, streaming something like that across the world and being recorded as we are now, just coming from my phone, I'm just walking around with the phone now. So theoretically, you got to be careful because people can say all sorts of crazy stuff, or you might accidentally get people. Whereas before, you'd have a camera with a light, and it was very obvious that you were broadcasting out there. But of course, everyone that was there last night, knew they were going to be on camera anyway. That's kind of the whole point of being there. So it was fun, but it was just trying to pull some people. Yeah, when I walk up to you and stick my phone in your face real quick, like I'm going to take your picture and then explain to you that actually you're being streamed live. It can be a little tricky, but Pata was cool, and we had a good time. It was fun out there last. I didn't realize they're gonna. I didn't really think about it, but as much as I should have, but I didn't realize they're going to have that many fans there. And what was that, about 4 months ago that we went when they wanted to show us as more of a media thing. And Nick spoke soon after Nick got hired, and we had seen it in the new luxury area that's right there at the end zone. And it's really, I mean, it's a cool spot to say the least. But last night was fun in the sense that so many people were there that we have seen and met and become friends with throughout the fandom community, but they hadn't been at that that particular spot. And then to have them in the background and have Telemundo on the right and SOC on the left with their setups, it was just cool. It was a great night.
Yep. What's up, Victor? How's it going, buddy? All the way from Myrtle Beach. And yeah, like
Marvel,
Heidi
Marvel.
says, it's Nick's 1 year anniversary today. So let's talk about that real quick. He's done a lot since he's been here, man. He came in with that shit show of the PSLs. He had to pretty much build out a whole team, if you would. And here we are yesterday having our expansion draft day. So
I, I can't
kudos.
imagine. I can't imagine if if everything had gone the normal plan, whatever, before COVID
Hmm.
hit, before the pandemic. Um, Trying to do all that they've done in a year. So I think it was a blessing in disguise that we already talked about, that we were able to have an extra year.
For
And
sure.
like Tepper's talked about too, DT was talking about, that gave them more time to build out, to refurb the stadium, because they had to build the whole middle build. I like it
Yeah.
that soccer's like, listen, you can have it wherever, do whatever, but the one thing that we do and we're not gonna not do is you got to come out at the middle, from the middle, at the beginning of the game. We're not having people coming out from corners and everything.
Yeah.
And so for them to refurb the stadium and then to do the vault, which we haven't seen that yet, the new bar that's down there, and then the new luxury areas.
Right on.
In
Yeah.
addition to building a whole team and then literally building the squad itself.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. And, just simple touches like yesterday where they had, the fans announcing the players that we were getting in that draft. I mean,
Yeah, that was cool. A
touches like
lot.
that's really cool, right?
Yeah, yeah, and I just love the community fan feel, and just like, and you heard it the other night at the kit release. I think CFO Sean was saying, or reiterating the point that we're lockstep. It's our team. We are the team. So it's just great and so much fun. And
Yeah,
my
Joe.
God, again, we haven't seen a single game. I mean, that first game, not to mention other ones, but that first one, it's just going to be crazy.
Yeah. I mean, well, I'm looking for, I mean, even just when we start going to like the preseason games, it's just going to be off the hook, right? It's just going to be a lot of fun. I'm hyped. I'm pumped. I'm just ready to go. And like Churchy says, right, with any other sport where you could talk about the front office like we do, I mean, we've been pretty lucky. They've been accepting of us, right? We get in there, they give us some scoop, they include us with the
Yeah.
big guys, right?
Well, that was funny last night. Just a little side note is I was being fan media or whatever. I was in there with the media, the normal media, and other, and in the little meeting room when Miguel was first speaking, and I got all that, but then I remembered you saying that you wanted more, on the street fan stuff, and which is kind of our whole purpose. So I left and I didn't stay for Zoran coming in and talking.
Yeah.
So I went around and talked to some people, and then right when I finished doing that, I went back, and that's when Zoran was walking out, and so that's when I went up to Zoran and said something. But I remember someone from marketing was like, "What are you doing? He was just in his press conference. If you wanted to ask a question, you should have done." I was like, "No, no, no. I had to get the fans."
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just cool, and I talked to him before, and just meeting all the different people that are involved with the team. It's just, and shoot, the new play-by-play guy. I can't think of his name right now.
Eric, I think, right?
Yeah, I met him. Gave him one of these beat up. We have these new CLTFC fan TV cards, but the way they're designed with the black and then the white paper, Lee gave me some to give out the other day, and they had been in his pocket, his jeans pocket, and they'd gotten all beat up.
Yeah.
And I gave him one that was kind of a little tattered. Oh, hey, this is one thing I did, y'all. Life hack. For the if you got the inaugural season ticket box with all the merch and stuff in it, I took one of the Ally. You're supposed to stick like on the back of your phone for a credit card or whatever. But yeah, I just took two of them and stuck them together, and it's my official CLTFC Fan TV business card handout thing.
Yeah.
I was proud of myself with my craftiness.
Yeah. So let's talk about the players that we got yesterday, right? We picked up 5 players, traded off 2, threw some GAM money in there. The first one up, Mackenzie Gaines from Austin. he's homegrown with Austin. We talked to the boys from Austin. We Are Austin TV, and jumped on a Twitter space with them last night, and they were just really pissed off that he wasn't protected, that he wasn't, he wasn't basically still an Austin player at the end of the day. Sounds like we got a really good player. I heard Miguel talk about him, and even the Austin boys were saying how fast he is. Yeah.
What's his name again?
Mackenzie Gaines.
And he came up to Austin. Well, I guess Austin didn't have.
He came up from Austin.
He's from that area, but they didn't have an academy because they're a brand new team too.
Yeah, and yeah, for sure. So his position, at least for Austin, was a forward. It sounds like Miguel's going to make him a winger, which is interesting because then it still leaves up top for us to fill in. Again, with some of that GAM money that we got yesterday, almost $1 million worth, right?
Yeah, I was going to say that was the big, the great deal was the two players going and getting what I think it was like 850.
Yeah. So we sold them off, right? We basically paid off what we were paying Nashville for their international spots. And then my understanding is that they're working pretty hard to get some of these players on the green card. I think the next player that we're going to talk about is Anton Walks, who came from Atlanta. I think he's pretty close, is what I was kind of reading on Twitter today and some other places, that he's pretty close to getting a green card, so he won't be an international spot. And like Ryan says here, he's an ex-Spurs player, so I might have to get that shirt. I don't know. We'll see what's up. We'll see if he reaches out to us and lets us interview him before we decide if we're going to commit to spending money on his name.
That's interesting, though. I mean, with everything happening so fast and the way the rules are, is if they get someone a green card in time, then they won't count as an international spot.
Yeah.
So it's like, my gosh, who on the team is in charge with working with the State Department or whoever the hell to fast track? Listen, you don't understand. Tepper's got to have some friends somewhere to be like, listen, you got to make sure this happens because I don't want to use this as an international spot.
Man, well, I applied for my citizenship right before fucking COVID hit, and I still have not had anything back. So they're talking about it could be at least May or June before I get to go give up the old citizenship to the Queen. Hold on,
hold on, look. But God can still save the Queen even if you're not. Literally.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is I think I'll just become a dual citizen. So
yeah, there you go. You can still eat kidney pie and some Bojangles.
Yeah. So go through definitely. Yeah, I need to. But yeah, and so then we had Joseph Mora was another player, right? He's he basically came, I believe, from DC United, and he plays a left back, and so he's I feel like we did pretty good in an expansion draft, right? 1 second.
Well, yeah. It's interesting to me that I mean, obviously it's going to be the only expansion draft for us, so. I think I was listening to 610 AM. Shout out Willie P.
Yeah, Willie P.
To the Mac Attack this morning, and Mac made a good point about it's almost like we've shorted the spine, the defense, is very similar, like in football, American football, to like the offensive line or whatever. It's like it's the base, and it seems like our backfield is set, and we've got all bases covered, and then to have some guys with some real MLS, long-term, more veteran players experience, and then our other folks. Now, to your point, just finding the top. And I don't. What formation are we going to run? Do we have any idea? Has Zorn ever said? I thought, didn't we ask him that once? It was like a joke. Like you'll never. And you're not going to know until like you see it, or how?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like. Oh, hold on a second, guys. We got a special guest joining us, man.
Oh, yeah.
What's up? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Top Ben, Top Ben, like hold on. JT is trying to give some sort of soccer analysis. He's like, I got to come in. I got to help him out.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I got about 10 minutes, so I wanted to join in, so.
Yes, so still no DVPs. Hey, Top Man, real quick, man. You were in the interview with what Zoran was talking about last night, man. Can you kind of recap some of that?
Yeah, man. He actually laid out a couple of great things. So he mentioned to us that they're finalizing 2 to 3 green cards for some of our players. My guess would be Riley, Sergio, and Jan, since they were the earliest ones that we signed. And so, by the sounds of by what he said, it sounds like they're gonna get that done before the season starts, which would be great. And so that would be good. Right now, someone asked them to, and they're looking at 5 international players. They want to fill up 5 more international slots, from what it sounds like. And he also said expect some very good news coming out either today or tomorrow. My guess is when Zoran or Nick say something, give it an extra 3 or 4 days.
At least
You know what I'm talking about, Lee. So we should have a player announcement sometime soon. So
Well, he
either
tweeted,
Friday or Monday would be my guess.
Nick tweeted though, right? Tomorrow and Friday. So like you said, it would probably be Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. So
Yeah, I got this scoop, and it's gonna be another international player.
Yeah, that's right. I hear you. So yeah. So man, real quick, I know you're short on time, man. So what do you think about the players that we did pick up? We kind of run over them already, but we was kind of busting on Austin a little bit and talking about how pissed off they were, about with Mackenzie Gaines there. So
yeah, I think out of the 3, the one I liked the most is Walks. I mean, he was one of the top 5 center backs last season. He can play you as a center back. He can play you as a fullback as well. He's got experience. I think he's probably one of the best. Out of the 3, he's my favorite pick. I think Mackenzie is a good player, but to me it's still potential. But from what Miguel said last night, the way he wants to use him, he doesn't want to use him as a striker. He wants to use him as a winger. And I think Miguel and the technical staff have a clear idea of what type of players they want to get and what they want to implement. And from what Zoran was saying, it sounds like everybody's in unison. Everybody understands what they're looking for and how they want to build the team. So, I mean, I think Miguel, who already has a proven track record of, working with young players and understanding how to develop young players, is going to be a great asset for a player like Mackenzie Gaines. Because you really have to think about this. Like, one of the things that Miguel said last night was, hey, the 3 players that we're bringing on, we want to make sure that they're committed to this project. We don't want to bring on any player that's not committed to this project. For Mackenzie Gaines, who's a hometown guy in Texas, who is adored by the fans, they're excited to have him next season. For him to commit to Miguel's project lets you know the type of coach Miguel is, and also lets you know that this guy believes that Miguel can get the best out of him.
Bam!
Yeah. No,
take top bin 90 laying it out.
That's true, right? Like you said, right? The technical staff and the scouting staff, in my opinion, have done a stellar job, right? Whatever's happened off the field, and we got a couple of black guys there, but when it comes to player recruitment and what they're doing there, I'm excited. I think we're low key gonna put the MLS on notice right now.
Yeah, I think we're already starting with a bang. I mean, Atlanta's mad at us, Austin's mad at us. Joseph Moore is a player that I was a little bit iffy on, but based on what Miguel says, he fits a lot of the requirements of what he looks for in a fullback. So right now the best thing we can do is trust the coach and trust kind of the process. I'll be a judge of what our team does after 15 games. That's kind of like where I sit at. Like, I want to see what we do after our first 15 games.
I was going to ask you, what point, how long do you wait? What is the process to say, listen, we want to see them by whatever point to do, this well. But yeah, so 15 games. That's interesting. The thing that, just to see it kind of formulate. And
Yeah,
what?
and you got to think about it too. We have 14 players now, and we don't have any of our DPs yet.
Yeah.
And we're already building. We already have key players in every position. You know what I'm saying? We've got
Yeah, it looks like
we've got
going. I was
Go
gonna
ahead.
say, it looks like we're going very international, right? And we're just trying to get these guys, like Churchy's saying, right? We don't
Yeah,
have the value, which
yeah. So
you know,
that's the only kind of double-edged sword that if I didn't believe in kind of what the recruitment process, and if it wasn't a consistent message. So the thing I like most, it's always been a consistent message with what they're applying within the club, right? Because
right.
this is a lot of international players. If you really take a look at it, 2 or 3 guys that most of the guys that we have do not have MLS experience. Corujo, Jan, Riley, Sergio, a lot of the players that we have, like, and this is going to be an 11 that has never been together, right? So we really, really have to depend on what the coach does, right? And their thought process is now, let's not go with the MLS experience side, let's go with an international experience side. So that's kind of the double-edged sword. But from what we're noticing already from the players that we have out, like on loan and internationally, like, we've picked some quality players. So if they can do it in bigger leagues, theoretically they should be able to do it in the MLS.
Yeah, and I like the fact that we're building out the back too, right? Because it's nowadays, if you look at like Nashville and those sort of teams, right? There's not really much midfield in the MLS, in my opinion, right? So if you have a star player up top, if you got a star player up top, but you can't get him the ball because you're leaking goals in the back, right? I mean, what's the point? So yeah, like I prefer that solid back line, right, and moving it forward.
That's one of the questions that Zoran was asked last night. He was like, "Hey, 2 of the 3 players that we got are in the back line," and he's like, it's very, very instrumental to get quality guys in the back because of Miguel's system of play. Like, we need pacey defenders. I mean, we're gonna be playing attacking football, so these guys have to be ready. You know, if we lose the ball on those counters. So that's one of the things they really stress. Everybody that they picked in the back line, they picked for a reason. They picked to go in this specific team because Miguel is not a regular coach.
That's right. Well, like you said, man, you got to take your chances to win the money, right?
100%.
Hey, side note, real quick. I didn't realize Miguel was so tall. I mean, that's the first time. I mean, I'd been around him before, but I don't know. Just seeing him standing in the end zone doing the interviews was like, gosh, is he like 6'1", 6'2"? He's taller than I imagined. I don't know why.
Yeah. So while we have Top Ben on here, man, let's talk about the schedule. So let me pull it up real quick. So yeah, it's like 1, 2. It looks like I'm at least going to the first 5 games, right? Because we got DC United away, right, which is the very first game that we're playing, and we definitely got to be there. And then obviously we come back, we play against LA Galaxy for the second game. Then the third game we're playing Atlanta, and then we're at home against New England and Cincinnati for the next 2 games. So that kind of runs out on March, which is kind of interesting because we get the Queen City battle, right, against Seattle, Cincinnati. Then we got Atlanta, the I-85 deal, and then DC and LA. We're gonna whip them guys anyway, so it don't really matter about those. But yeah, so and then the other one that kind of stands out to me and I'm excited for is the Austin game, right, which is at home. And then the rest of them, we get. Go ahead.
Yeah, a couple of out of those first 10 games, I mean, we play Atlanta twice, we play New England twice. I mean, New England Supporter Shields winners. So it'd be very interesting. These first 10 games are going to tell us a lot about the team that we have, right?
Yeah.
Like, what can this team do? How gelled are they? How ready are they? And I'm very excited to see that because they play some very, very tough teams from the get-go.
New England is in there. Orlando. I mean, these ain't – I mean, the MLS is not scrubs, right?
Philadelphia Union.
When are they all supposed to be together? When is the roster supposed to be full and theoretically everyone is physically there and they start?
They want everybody in by January, right?
January 8th or January 28th. I mean, my gosh, there's not much time. We're only like 3 months out practically.
Yeah.
When is
Yeah,
everyone
well, our
physically
first
going to be? That's the crazy thing, bringing all the people from all over the world, literally, you know, and the logistics of moving and families if they
Well,
have. Oh man,
we should have most of our international players the first 2 weeks of January. I know Jordi Alcivar should be here on the 5th of January, from what I'm told, and everybody else within that time frame as well. So, and I mean, like it sounds like the couple of players that we have left, I guess internationally, like they've got a solid game plan to get them here pretty early. I mean, I think that's key too. I mean, how much time Miguel has to gel his team. But I think one of the things that I notice about Miguel as a coach is the ultimate motivator. Like every player that I've talked to or had a chance to interview, one of the common themes is as soon as I spoke to Miguel, I knew I didn't want to go anywhere else. Corujo told me that. Jordi Alcivar told me that. I can't think of the third person, but I remember somebody else told me that as well. That's very, very that's a very, very interesting thing to say. And if you really watch how Miguel talks, how he operates, I'm like, it makes a lot of sense. You know, so I think that's going to be an important key as well. I mean, not only is he going to be good tactically, but he's a great man motivator.
Yeah, I'm looking over the schedule, man, and I mean, there's a couple of games that I would call easy on paper. I mean, Miami, I feel like we should at least beat them because they're Miami. But again, we still got like Nashville in there. We got Toronto in there. We got LAFC in there. I mean, man, it's going to be a fun time, man. It's going to be a fun time. New York, right? It's going to be a blast. I'm super excited. So,
Me
but
too.
Yeah, man.
I gotta head out, guys. Sorry.
All right, buddy.
I just wanted to jump on.
Hey, buddy. So yeah, that was cool. Top Ben to stop in and his car. He was driving too. I think he got a Tesla or something. But yeah, man. So the only other news really is that there's 2 new players that are supposed to come out, and we don't know who that is yet. But our gut feeling is probably going to be some international players. So it'd be curious to see who those guys are and what positions they take. Maybe it'll be our strikers that we're looking for.
Strikers. I had fun with the inflecting, doing the news report on Melo or whatever, saying the word striker. But
oh, that's right, man. We got all kinds of people.
I know, right? I can't. Someone is going to have to get LaMelo Ball and Vinny Melo.
That's right.
Get the Melos together and get some sort of pictures or something. Someone's going to have to pull that off. The 2 Melos. But yeah, like I was saying, it was just great last night to see the fans and to know what's coming. And
yeah, now we got the re-entry draft and the college draft and all that other stuff to cover. So what after this week? Like, if they announce a couple more players or anything, when's the next draft? When's the next big thing before Christmas, or is there anything before Christmas? I'm not sure the dates. Maybe somebody out there already knows the dates for us. They can chime in, but I don't know.
Wondered. I mean, to the point that it's just been a whirlwind the last week.
Yeah.
And there's still stuff happening. It might be continuing to happen towards the end of this week and into next week. But it's like, I don't know. Are they taking a break at Christmas? Or people going back to wherever? Not. I don't know. If it comes out at Christmas or not.
Yeah, I mean, the only date that I'm aware of is that the secondary kit's going to drop it sometime in February, right before the season, I believe. So, anyways.
Just in time for Valentine's Day. Get your sweetie a secondary kit.
That's right. That's right.
Here you go, hun.
Yep. So, guys, we're going to cut this off now. So, if you guys want to hit the sub button for us, subscribe, share, like, all that fun jazz, man. And like we said, watch the breaking news desk when it happens. Sometimes it's 24 hours late, but hey, the news is there, the information is there, and sometimes Kevin doesn't get the stuff cut and produced in time.
Stupid ass Kevin, man. What are you gonna do? When people are volunteering their time, I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, that's right. So guys, like I said, hit the sub button for us, and we'll keep trying to churn out this content, and we appreciate y'all.